to the Booked and Brewed Book Club for season 2 of your favorite podcast, where we enjoy our favorite books and talk about our favorite brews as well. I'm Alex.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Melina, and we're so glad you want to talk about books too. Thank you everyone for being here for season 2. So we've been gone for a little bit, but hopefully we're back and we're going to
So
change
long.
how we do this. Instead of once a week, we're going to do once a month, and
Yes.
hopefully we can maintain it this time.
Yeah.
So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Assistant to the Villain, which is something I'm super excited about. I've been anticipating this for a long time, and I'm glad I finally got to make time to read it.
Yeah. Good recommendation from Melina. So thank you, Queen. Just to add on the new concept on how we are doing things. Once a month, one of us is going to pick a book for the book club that month. And that person is hosting it. So Melina will be hosting this one. So we're very excited about that.
Okay, so to get started, what is everyone's book and brew of this month?
Okay, so book, I will say besides The Assistant's Villain, because I am reading, I feel like I read so much this month, but my latest book that I'm currently reading is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I know it's been out for a while. I'm kind of delayed on the process, but I am, okay, so I have basically a 2.5 hour commute every single day. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and that book was the most readily available one to listen to while I wait for a few others like Project Hail Mary and whatever. It's really good, really cute. I just finished The Night and the Moth too, which I actually really liked. I know that people say it's not as good as her other book, One Dark
Yeah.
Window, but I actually really enjoyed that book. Also
Yeah.
listened to it, so the voice acting for me was really good.
Voice acting will make or break a book. I loved One Dark Window. I didn't love Night and the Moth as much, but I like the duology.
Fair enough, fair enough. And then my drink for today is, okay, this is like a really big thing, but it's not as big as the glass. Okay. I am drinking, okay, so I tried it in Thailand. Guys, I got back from my honeymoon in Thailand. And it was iced coffee, and the sweetener was coconut water. So that is what I'm drinking, coconut water, iced coffee. Judge me all you want. I have cute pictures of it in Thailand. It's not cute in this, but it is cute in Thailand.
I am drinking a tried and true Spindrift, the crappiest of the flavors I've left, so it would be lime. Books I'm reading right now, I am reading, hopefully what our next book club book is, Project Hail Mary. I am also reading another smutty book, can't remember, probably not worth mentioning the title. And then I'm also going to start And Now Back to You. It's like a cutesy little rom-com. Loved the first one. Just got the second one on vacation, so I think that'll be my next fun summer intro read.
I am drinking a decaf latte. I am reading Project Hail Mary, Red Queen, and Book Lovers.
Ooh, is Red Queen
Oh,
good? Because that's on my list.
I
I
have that.
have only gotten like 15% of the way in, maybe. I'm starting to see the similarities to Powerless, but it's interesting right now. I'll let you know when I get further into it.
That's been on my physical TBR for like 2 years. I need to read it. And Book Lovers is such a good book. You're gonna love it. It's a perfect summer read. I love it, Emily
Oh
Henry.
yeah, like these, I cannot physically read romance books, but listening to them audio, I read like 3 or 4 of them in the past
Love.
month. So
Love it.
I found how I like the romance. Okay, so let me do the summary. Spoiler warning for if you haven't read this book, obviously. We're doing a podcast episode. Here's a summary. So, Assistant to the Villain follows Evie Sage as she gets drawn into the quirky and dangerous world of Tristan Maverin, aka the villain, the most feared figure in Renadon. After a failed job search, Evie encounters Tristan in a forest. Impressed by her wit, Tristan offers her a job at his massacre manor. Despite her apprehension, Evie takes the position to support her family. Her lively nature creates an interesting dynamic with Tristan. She joins a staff filled with gossip, unique colleagues, and unexpected friendships, particularly with Blade, a dragon trainer, and Tati, a healer. Months later, Evie and Tristan find a spy in the manor leaking information to King Benedict, Tristan's enemy. Together, they try to uncover the mole, strengthening their professional relationship. They face family conflicts and challenges from law enforcement enforcers, especially the valiant guardsmen. The situation intensifies when Evie finds evidence against Blade, leading to uncertainty about his loyalty. She faces a moral dilemma and resigns after a confrontation with Tristan. Her departure disrupts operations, prompting Tristan to realize her importance and work to get her back. After returning to the office, Evie continues investigating and discovers a plot by her former employer, a blacksmith who had previously harmed her. During a crucial event organized by Tristan's father, Evie bravely fights deadly creatures known as Gouvres, preserving Tristan's anonymity when his father is mistakenly captured as the villain. Further revelations lead to identifying Evie's estranged father as the true traitor, who took advantage of their family relationship to deceive. This sets the stage for a showdown where Evie confronts personal vendettas, signaling her growth. The story ends on a cliffhanger, with Evie vowing to free the imprisoned Tristan, deepening her commitment to him and her evolving courage. Okay, let's start with ratings. What did you guys think?
I gave it a 4. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed this book a lot.
I didn't love this book. I know.
I
I
feel like
don't
you
know.
would. You love this like kitschy, like back and
Yeah,
forth.
maybe it was like too kitschy. Maybe I just read it like the wrong time. I
Mm,
don't know. I kind of guessed some of the twists. So I'd say if we're like rounding to full stars, I'd give it a 3. But if we were doing like halvesies, I'd maybe go a bit lower, like a 2.75. Like I think it was cute. I'd still recommend it to people, but I just didn't love it. I didn't love my time with it.
Wow.
I'm
I know. I'm
shocked.
looking into it.
Out of
I
everyone, you love this sort of like banter.
I know. And I both did the audio and read it at the
Mhm.
same time. And maybe like the audio, like the
Ruined
narrators
it.
just weren't good or what. Like I don't know, like the jokes weren't hitting for me. I don't know. It just
Yeah, I
wasn't.
thought some of the jokes were kind of cheesy. Some of it was a little bit
Yeah.
too much, but I still very much enjoyed it. I also
Yeah.
gave it a 4.
Okay, well, love. Like it's sparks good combo. I'm
Yeah.
glad. Well, maybe you guys can convince me by the end of it to up my
Mhm.
rating a little.
I think
Well, yep.
All right. Well, if
Okay.
you guys loved it so much, what was your favorite part?
Honestly, I really liked like that beginning scene when she first met him. I was like, this is like it was so predictable that that was the villain, but I was like, it's just so funny. Like how she was referring to him. I thought
know.
it was funny. I liked that part.
That was a cute me cute.
I would say I really enjoyed when okay, so there were obviously like them together. I thought was really cute. I
Mhm.
also really like the end of the book, how the book ended with her becoming the villain for him
Oh
I
and
like
yeah.
like
that.
hanging the head of the
Yeah.
blacksmith.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. And I don't know, like I just love like oh, I did like the scene where they went to his shop, the blacksmith shop.
Hmm.
And we got a little bit more of her backstory, the
Mhm.
interactions, and then he kind of got a feel for it. Or, okay, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I do love, okay, when they were at the party and they were over by like the bridge or whatever, they crossed the bridge or something like that. Like, I just feel like that was like a really sweet moment where they kissed and they had like this really cute moment together. I feel like there was so much tension building up to it in like very fun, playful way. And then obviously everything transpired crazy after that, but that was like a really cute moment. There's a lot of good moments in the book. I don't know which one's my
Yeah, a lot of just cute little romantic
moments. Yeah.
moments.
Yeah, maybe those moments were like lost in the audiobook and I was listening on high speed. I thought they were cute. I just wasn't objectively, I could take a step back and be like, okay, those were cute. I just feel like I couldn't connect to it for some reason and like,
Mhm.
immerse myself in the cuteness. I liked, there are like elements of the book that made me chuckle, like Kingsley the Frog. I
Oh my
thought
God,
I
yeah.
like with
love
his like
him.
one word signs made me
Mhm.
giggle. I loved the wall of head because that's gruesome and I like gruesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I thought, in addition to like Kingsley, I thought the scatter day for the interns was funny.
Yeah,
Like just
Yeah.
a funny
hilarious.
concept where he would
That
just
was
like
funny.
test weapons and like interns would die. That's one of the few moments that plus the wall where like I thought that the villain in the book wasn't really like villainous. Like he wasn't really like cutthroat. It was very like
Mhm.
cutesy villain. So maybe I'm
Yeah,
just used to darker stuff, but that was one of the things that made me chuckle. It's like scatter day
yeah.
for the interns.
I love the cutesy Bella and like the one that's not actually like its
Yeah.
Yeah.
least favorite parts.
Okay.
Personally, I did not like the ending.
I didn't. I was,
Really?
Melina, I was just about to say that. I just like,
Okay, well,
yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Explain my ladies.
I honestly, I wish this might sound bad, but I wish King Benedict took Evie instead. And
100%.
we would have gotten the feral villain.
Right.
to get her
Love.
back. Like I just,
Mm.
that's what I wanted.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I didn't love the big reveal that it was her dad. I thought that was such
Yeah.
a cop out, and
Hmm.
I felt like so bad for her, not even like mad at her dad.
Yeah.
And you could kind of the little like tidbits throughout the story where he would go out drinking with his friends and like ask for cash. And I don't know, like
Hmm.
I got a bad vibe from him, but I just think that's like such a rotten thing. I don't know. And I don't know if this is foreshadowing. The knight that saved her is for sure her brother.
Yeah, that's what
Mm.
I'm thinking too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was something important, but I didn't know what it was.
What about you, Alex?
I okay, I know you guys didn't like the ending. I did like the ending. I mean, I didn't hate it. I think it could have been better, but I loved the concept that she was this like protector, this of her family, provider for her family and whatever. And then for the people she loves and care about. And then at the end of the book, it kind of brought that back where she is now stepping into the role of the villain to protect him, to provide for him, to go after him. And it's more so, I feel like the story is more about her as a character and her, I don't know. Yes, it's a love story and it's cute, but I think it's so obvious that it's always, oh, the guy saves the girl, the damsel in distress. And I will say I did start the other book, and that was the start of that. There's more to it, and it feeds in really well. I liked it. But I would say my least favorite part is Rebecca just really bothers me as a human. I
Right?
just
I
like
didn't get her character.
really dislike her. I also did not like when he had to capture the Gouvre. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
the
Oh, yeah, I
Gouvra.
don't know how to say that. The
The
monster.
the
Mhm.
Gouvra. That's what
The
they say in the
Gouvre. Okay.
audiobook.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone listened to the audiobook.
Yeah.
I didn't like the when they captured the Gouvre just because I don't like the creature itself. Like the concept of the venom spraying everywhere and just killing everyone is just so creepy.
Melting the faces off of people. Yeah.
Right. I didn't love
Yeah.
it.
I like that. I felt more sad that they were capturing it and he was like, "Oh, I feel bad for this creature that I'm like capturing it to be in captivity for the mate." And I get it was like saving King's Guvra or whatever, but yeah, that along with Fluffy the dragon, I was like, "Eh."
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it wasn't a fully fleshed out monster.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there were some gaps missing. They talk about Sugar, what's his name? I want to say Flynn Rider, but it's not Flynn Rider.
It's like Blade.
Yes. Like
Blade.
him
Yeah.
being like an animal trainer. And then
Right.
talk about this dragon, this dragon, this dragon. I feel like this dragon had no point to it in the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Other than like the plot device of like the manacle, and it was yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny part of the story actually, where he was like hyping up his resume and he and I thought it
Right.
was, and then all the interns had to submit their resume to the villain. I just thought that was like a really weird part, like detail of the story that was like so
Mhm.
specific for no reason, but it kind of made me giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first question, Evie starts off pretty normal compared to the villain's world. What do you think really draws her to stay?
I think at first it's out of necessity, right? Like she's the breadwinner for the family. She like lost her job or she had to leave her job at the blacksmith. And so this kind of stumbled upon her. And so while she was probably hesitant at first, I think it was out of circumstance that she stayed. And then once she was there for more than a day, she probably got the sense that there's more to the villain than, it seems.
Yeah, I agree with that. I genuinely don't think that she realizes that he's a bad person. I think she sees the good in him, and I think that's what makes her stay. Also, probably a crush, but I think she even justifies it at one part in the book towards the beginning where she mentions that there was like heads of people in the entryway, or maybe there was a dead guy on her desk. Was one of those scenarios, and she was like, "Yeah, they deserved it. They were throwing rocks at ducks and something like that, and like they also were bad people." And so she kind of like justifies it in her head. So I
Yeah.
think it's like she is convincing herself that if he does something bad, it's for a reason and that he's genuinely a good person. I think that all came back from their first encounter where he was.
So I agree with that, but I actually think that he is not a bad person. I'm kind of with Evie on that because it's the beginning of the book and she's like you were saying, she's like, he wouldn't do that to just random people. Like he had to have a reason. And one of them, he said she was throwing rocks at ducks. And he's like, but there's probably a deeper reason for it. And then later he says, and I was just in a bad mood. And like that guy was just because he was throwing rocks at ducks. like that kind of thing. But like he has a reason, even if it's not necessarily a justified reason. He's not just going around torturing innocent people. It's, you know, they have their flaws. Like he's kind of like a vigilante, I guess.
Yeah, like a
Definitely.
code of honor, right?
Yeah.
Amongst honor
Yeah.
amongst thieves. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree. He has to
Yeah,
be kind of
exactly.
instigated.
Well, I think that also like goes back to at the end of the day, it's not like he's trying to hurt the people in the town necessarily or in the villages around. It's all because of the king and what the king did to him from
Mhm.
the very beginning that kind of forced him to become the villain. But in reality, he's really only the villain to the king and like anyone who does the king's bidding because like he doesn't bother innocent people. And I think he mentions that in the book or she says that in the book or something like that. But yeah, I agree. I think he's a good guy. I think deep down he's a good guy. Question, and I know this isn't on our questions, but how would you compare him to Rhysand and the parallels between them where they're both forced to be the villain of the story?
Okay, I think the difference is he's not actually forced to be the villain. He's kind of chosen it, and Rhysand is forced into that. But I still think, and I think Tristan more pretends to be the villain that he knows he's not.
Well, I wouldn't even call Reese a villain, you know? I think maybe
Yeah.
there's stereotypes because it's the Court of Night, like nightmares, you know, that like, okay, well, that's inherent. But I agree. I think there was a catalyst for Tristan,
Mhm.
and there was one for Reese too. Like his parents died or were murdered or what have you. But yeah, I almost see it as Tristan's almost like a cutesy poor man's version of Reese, you know? Maybe he's just worse at acting. But yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities. I think that's an interesting parallel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I would definitely agree. When I was reading it, I imagined a more like rom-com version of Reese, like a very, very watered down, like Netflix
Yeah.
version of like a Reese, you know?
Yeah, like a Cartoon Network recent. Maybe Nick at Night.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that.
And I think that's also kind of the goal of the book. Like it's to kind of be that comedic aspect of some of these more serious like fantasy books. It's not meant to be as serious.
I agree.
I
I
agree.
also I see that too, like with the way that it's like she has a resume and like a
Mhm.
job, and then they have desks and they have an HR manager.
Yeah.
Okay, but isn't
Yeah.
this,
And
like set?
interns.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Right. They have a break room. Like I'm just like, okay, this doesn't fit like the fantasy
Mhm.
world, but it's the comedic relief of it. It's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
like it's not meant to. It's kind of the point of the book
yeah,
to
and the cauldron brew that's not coffee but is.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's doing what's exactly intended to. It's not supposed to be serious, and I think
Mhm.
that's pretty funny.
Next question.
How does Evie and the villain's dynamic evolve? When does it shift from employer, employee into something more? Okay, I actually have a response for this one.
Ooh, go for it.
It's the bomb.
Okay, I'm ready.
When the bomb was planted.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's when, like, at least as a reader, you realize, oh, wait, like when you get from his point of view and he's like, oh my God, where is she? That's when you realize that there's something more.
I would
Yeah.
say, I feel like from the beginning, I don't think it was ever like an employee boss. I think they tried to make it like an employee
Yeah.
boss. But like the minute we found out what that gold tattooed ring on her finger was, where it's so that it alerts him when she's in danger, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's always had it in for her.
And I loved that. Yeah, I thought that was like a sweet thing. I agree. I thought it was from the beginning, not from his perspective, but from hers, that she just never took him seriously as a villain.
Yeah, that's
So I feel
Yeah.
like to have an employee employer, you have to kind of not respect in like a bad way or like a good way, but you have to kind of respect your employer. And I feel again not in a bad way, but she ran the place, you know. She was trying to get him to stop killing the interns. She never really took him seriously as her boss.
Okay, next question. Which side characters surprise you the most and why?
I don't know. I have a tough time answering this because I feel all the characters, the first time you met them or you were, you know, a paragraph into their description, you kind of got what they were. The author made it really clear, like, hey, you know, Rebecca is bad, but maybe she's not all bad, and Blade is, a creature wrangler, but he's terrible at it.
Right.
I wouldn't say there was anything super surprising. Maybe the only side character, if you call it, that I was like about was the dad, who ended up being the big bad, just because I think that's a shitty thing to do. So yeah, I guess maybe the dad, if you count him as a side character.
I would say maybe like the whole concept of, I think, Claire and then Tatiana. I think them kind of surprised me. Like I wasn't expecting. I think finding out that he had siblings. I
That's
was
true.
kind of
I was
like,
surprised.
and then his dad came into the
Yeah.
picture, and I was like, oh, like because I feel like we learned more about the troll that was making the cauldrons brew and baking all these pastries.
The baker.
And how he is from like Tristan's village. He was the village
Yeah.
baker and stuff like that. And we learned so much about him from the beginning, that revealing, oh, Claire, and then I forget Tristan's brother's name, and then his dad throughout that process. I was like, oh, there's another family member. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. The brother surprised me, and then you met his sister and his father in short order. I'm like, does he have like 8 siblings? And it was just buried the lead until halfway through the book.
What about you, Melina?
Yeah, now that you say that with his siblings, I was kind of surprised. Like, I was surprised at the brother, and then when the sister and father showed up, I was like, oh my God, like he has a whole family.
Right. We had no alluding to on that. Like,
Yeah.
there was no allusion to that at all, which is okay. It made it fun and a little spice, you know?
It made him kind of more human that he had siblings and he actually like, had a relationship with them.
Yeah, and like protected them.
Mhm.
Just more, I think, credence to the fact that he's not really a villain. He's a vendetta against the king, but he's not really a bad guy.
The book plays with the idea that good versus evil isn't so clear cut. Where did you see that most strongly?
I will say at the end of the book, when the king arrives, Tristan's getting arrested. It's like this whole thing. I knew that we were getting it from Evie and Tristan's perspective, that the king was bad, but we never really got a legitimate reason as to why he was a bad guy.
Right. Yeah,
I was like, hey, maybe we're just getting the villain's perspective. She's in love with the villain. I'm sure the king's great. No one has any issues with him. And then I would say at that point, that was probably, at least for me, where I was, oh, the king actually, like I had an idea that, I mean, just based on reading enough, that there was going to be some sort of storyline along that. But I think that's where the evidence was in the book.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the big payoff for the king was kind of just like a nothing burger. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just so jaded with like some of the other books I read that I'm like, okay, it wasn't that big of a deal. I thought the most clear cut of like the good versus evil is when you get the inner monologue of Evie, and she's like, oh, I cut his head off and put it on the wall. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like you start to like get her little things like, oh, he killed another intern, darn. Like a true good person wouldn't be like, all right, death and destruction, whatever.
Yeah.
What about you, Melina?
Yeah, actually, I think both of those are really good points. I don't have a specific part that I remember that I was like, oh, this isn't really clear cut good versus evil. So I think both of those are good. How does the story challenge typical fantasy tropes about heroes and villains? Well, it kind of, going along with the last question, it kind of shows that good versus evil isn't so clear cut with those couple of examples. And the more you see about Tristan, the more you like kind of find out that he's not really bad and he's just portrayed as this like villain and he's kind of pretending, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we're going traditional Disney hero villain, I agree. I think a morally gray character is always a good kind of anti-hero, right? Like you're rooting for him, but he's supposed to be the bad guy. I think nowadays it's so prevalent in kind of the fantasy that I don't know if this story like necessarily challenges like what we're used to reading maybe more recently, because the bad guy is always like the hot, cute one, right, that you're rooting for. But I did like how, in terms of like comparing it to other books that have probably come out more recently that are popular, it's a softer version of that. Like there's not this huge like war or this massive vendetta. So I think in that it kind of dulls it down, but not in a bad way. And I think that's atypical compared to like an Akertar, right, or Blood and Ash, where it's like a big, big bad.
I think this story, it kind of reminds me, and Amanda, don't hate me for saying this, it would be as if like Emily Henry were to write a fantasy book. That's the type of vibe I'm getting, like the cute humor, the like, it's not meant for that epic battle, that epic experience that you would get with ACOTAR or Throne of Glass or From Blood and
Yeah, with the
Wine.
intense world building and all of that.
Exactly, where it's so complicated and all the things. I think this is just supposed to be like a straightforward, cutesy little book with simple hero, anti-hero, villain vibe.
How dare you bring Emily Henry into this
I know.
conversation?
I was gonna say like Emily Henry and Allie Hazelwood, like that sort of,
Yeah. Yeah.
like-
or like a Lucy Score, right? Like
right,
some of
like a
those like
cutesy
unserious.
romance.
And this is like an unserious romance. I think that's like the fun part of it. So I would agree.
Right.
Yeah. What does the book say about workplace dynamics? So obviously it kind of pokes fun at that
It does.
and puts that into what that might look like in, a fantasy world.
I love the satire of it,
Yeah, me
honestly.
too.
The fact that she's HR manager, but it's like human and magical creature
Mhm.
resources.
That's so true. I didn't even think of that.
And I was like, oh, I love that. And I love that what you would, the stereotypical HR manager, she fit that category perfectly for that. So I love that it also very much tailored like the office dynamics, like same thing with the interns, how interns always have the office gossip,
Yeah.
always have the office gossip. And they always are talking at the most inappropriate times about things that everyone knows what's going on and eavesdrop. I think it was a nice blend of like modern today's day and age with fantasy.
No, I agree. I think satire is the perfect way to kind of describe it. And another funny part was when the Evie and Tristan were like in that little like, side room and they overheard the interns gossiping and they were talking about faking and beefing up their resume. Like it was just, I agree. It was just funny. And I thought it actually did a good job of blending like real world like resumes with they live in a magical village in a hut, like
Yeah.
usually it's
Yeah.
one or the other. And I thought this was in terms of like world building and setting, it was fairly seamless having like a little bit of both.
What
Yeah.
did you think?
Yeah, I think it didn't feel like kind of pushed together. It kind of felt more natural, like Amanda said, like seamless. So yeah, I think the author, I don't remember what her name is, but I think she did a really good job blending those aspects together. How does power, political, magical, or personal show up in different ways?
I feel like this book wasn't sneaky. It wasn't, it wasn't trying to like trick you. I feel everything, like the political power, the magical power, the personal power was pretty in your face or not hidden. So it was fairly straightforward to like spot it, identify it, It wasn't subtle.
I don't have anything to say about this one.
Yeah, I didn't like this question.
Did the slow burn tension work for you, or did you want things to move faster? I love slow burns, so it worked for me. I would have even loved if it was slower.
Oh my God. Slower, Melina.
I love a slow burn.
Slower.
Oh my God. When I
Oh.
realized they first kiss was 7 hours in, I was like, my God, it
I
can't
know.
get much slower.
Yeah, girl.
I just think back to Binding 13. Their first
Oh,
kiss
yeah.
was like 700 pages in, and that was,
That's such a great book.
yeah, so good.
I think it was good. I like the slow burn, but I like a little spice. I wish it was spicier. I
Yeah.
wish there was like a slow burn to the sexy part, not just to them kissing. They could have had a cute little kiss moment earlier in the book, and then they could have had a really romantic moment under a tree on the night of the dad's festival. And then they hear noises and they could have ran away and, flap them as they're putting their clothes back on. I don't know. Like, that would have been a really great moment for that. But
I honestly think that would have just kind of like ruined the dynamic of the book. So I feel like I'm gonna be the lone one here. I don't
Okay.
care for spice. Like if it's not in the book at all, so it has its place, and a lot of fantasy books are better with it. Like it adds to the plot.
Yes.
But especially in this book, I just feel like it doesn't fit unless it was like a closed door scene. It's just like it doesn't need to be in there because it's so light and fluffy.
That's true.
It doesn't seem like I don't know how to explain it other than it's like the deepness of like being at war or something kind of justifies it,
I agree. I think this is like a PG book,
Yeah.
right? For lack of a better term, it's like a young adult. And maybe that's why I didn't like it is I don't know, like I like, dicks and holes on page 1, I thought it would at least build to like something a bit more. And I wasn't surprised that it was only a kiss, but I also just feel like it wasn't connected enough to the characters to care by the end of it. And maybe that's just because it was like so light and fluffy and I'm used to the perils of war.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was so jaded,
That's fair. Here's the thing, you guys. This book, I feel like takes serious concepts and makes them very lighthearted. So the scenario where they're cutting off heads and they're doing all these things and people's faces are literally melting off at one part and she hears the screams of agony. We can't get a little sexy time. We have to hear about people dying in graphic ways, but we can't get a little like skin on skin action. Come on.
Okay, that's why I said like a closed door scene.
A closed door scene, I would maybe work with that. Maybe like I don't need like a super descriptive experience.
Right.
But I would like an experience to be in the book. Because I feel like, again, the death, the thing, the fact that it was very lighthearted, that her dad betrayed her, and somehow we just quickly moved past that. We went really intense with like the gruesome stuff, but like we can't go a little intense on like the love part of it. Like, come on.
I agree. Even like a Nora Robert, you know, a sword in a sheath scene. I agree. I think that's a good point. I mean, at one scene, right, she was getting blood splashed on her white dress, and he was like, "Oh, that's a symbol." And then the mom died, and the brother died. You know, everyone's dying. It handles grief. It handles heads being bitten off. No little sexy time. I agree. I agree.
Okay, I actually think that it's also kind of like telling of the book itself, how it's progressing, that there isn't really any indication other than that one kiss that they had when she was like pretending to be his wife, that it's also just kind of how the relationship is progressing, and maybe they just haven't gotten to that point yet. That like it's still they're in denial, you know?
I know. That's why it's always so hard to dissect the first book in a series.
Yeah.
Because usually the first book, if they're planning on it to be a series, is like an intro book. And we're just getting into the storyline. We're just getting into the romance. Like, maybe this is a marathon and not a sprint, but I do enjoy when they sprint the whole time. Amanda, I'm hoping we're kind of turning your rating around a little bit.
Yeah.
No?
No. I mean,
not at all.
We make some good points. Maybe I'll bump it up from a 2.75 to like a 2.85.
2.85. Girl.
Maybe like a 3.
I honestly might bump mine down a little. I feel 4 is a little high.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
4 is a little high. It was a good book. I did enjoy it. I think it was just like really like the comic relief I enjoyed. I also read it while I was on my honeymoon. So I think I'm also biased because I was living La Vida Loca while reading this book. And so I was in a good head.
And I mean, mood reading is a thing. Like if I read this maybe closer to Halloween, it'd be more cutesy.
Next question.
Okay. What moments had the most romantic tension, even if nothing actually happened?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, like a lot of their interactions.
Lingering glance, right? When she makes his coffee, or his cauldron brew with sugar and cream.
Right, and she can't tell anyone.
No.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like romantic tension.
Yeah, when he drops her off at her house and meets her little sister.
Right.
Introduces him by his name.
Yeah, and she was like, what?
Yeah,
that was cute.
I thought that was a cute scene.
That was a really
sweet. Yeah.
Well, and I also love that they took like again a modern day concept of like a man dropping her off. What?
Stepdad.
Who's stepdad?
I guess it's a sister, but like she acts like her mom, you
Oh
know.
yeah. I was gonna say that like it's nice that like he was chivalrous enough to drive her home essentially.
Oh, that's nice. That's a better. But then he also dropped her like a mile from the house. She wouldn't be spotted. I was like, what do you mean? You're so worried about her protection and you're dropping her in the woods to walk a mile? Like, what are we doing here?
Well, I know. And then he's like, I need you to meet me at this shady tavern.
Right, and he's late.
But he cares about her well. He's got the gold ring tattooed around his bicep that lets him know when she's in danger.
Right.
True.
So she wasn't endangered at any of those moments. Was he nearby? I don't know. But
yeah, like his power isn't time travel. Like she was in danger a mile from him on a horse. I don't know what he'd be able to do. Plot holes is all I'm saying.
Honestly.
Do you trust the villain's intentions towards Evie? Why or why not? I mean, I guess it depends what intentions mean. I don't think he has ill will towards her.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I trust his intentions in the fact that he likes her, he's protecting her, pursuing her, and he's doing everything he kind of set out to do kind of in regards to her. So, and he's not a bad guy. So
I don't think he has ill will intentions. I think his only ill intentions is if it comes to a point where he's more obsessed with like taking down the king than like loving her. And if that
Right.
ever becomes a make or break in their relationship.
You're getting to the plot arc of book 3, Alex.
I
Chill.
know.
Slow down. Slow down. Yeah. My God.
Sorry, guys. Spoiler alert. Haven't even gotten it there myself, but I already know what happens.
Well, you know the
This
second
book isn't
kiss
that
isn't coming.
predictable.
You know the second kiss isn't coming till the end of or the beginning of book 3. So at this rate.
He actually touches her boob at the end of book 4.
Right.
Maybe gives her a foot massage in between, but whoa.
Right.
Socks are on.
He brings her some cauldron brew in the bath or something. Yeah. And some artfully
She's tending
placed
to his
bubbles.
injuries.
Yes. Ooh, I
Right,
always love
right.
what those like spices when that happens, like
Mhm.
tending to their, but somehow they're not injured enough to not have sex. So
Of course.
Yeah,
It's
of
a
course.
surface upper thigh wound.
right. He got lacerated across the abdomen, but he's still able to have sex. Don't worry, guys.
Right, but don't worry, his skin's open, but he's still flexing his 8-pack.
Right.
Yeah.
The most important piece is still working, okay?
Right, with a huge bulge in his boxers. You know, what plot twist like genuinely caught you off guard? Because I feel this book is pretty predictable, right? But
Mhm.
was there anything that genuinely surprised you reading it and having read a lot of books like this in the past?
I have not read a lot of books like this in the past, but something that
But even like
caught
fantasy, you know?
But fantasy, like the fantasy that I've read is, it's more serious. What caught me off guard was how human Tristan seemed.
Ooh.
And less like, I don't know, this otherworldly like god or
Yeah.
horrible creature like from the depths of hell,
He was
He
a
was just
normal guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the ability to kill people. So
Yeah.
see their weak
Just
spots.
casual. I think we touched on it a little earlier. I didn't think the catalyst of like what the king did to him was like enough of a big bad to really set him on this path of being like the kingdom-wide villain. Like I certainly wasn't great. Locking him in
Yeah.
a cellar for a month with no light is horrid, but just telling him that he would hurt a lot of people with his power, and that was enough to really like shake his belief, like Tristan's belief and foundation when he was with the king, I thought was just surprising in that like, oh, that was it. But maybe Melina, going back to your point, like he's just a normal guy, so it's not like he has this huge threshold for pain and destruction,
Yeah.
and hurt. It's like something that simple can really set someone down a path of being this like larger than life villain.
Yeah. Okay, I have two. The whole thing with Blade not being a actual dragon trainer, I thought was kind of funny. I was a little surprised about how, like, I guess the way she found out and everything. I thought that was surprising. But then the other side is his dad. So I thought that was an interesting plot twist where somehow his dad's party got like thrown into the mix. Like, I'm more so a little bit critical about this plot twist because, like, how did her dad know that his dad threw parties?
Right. Like the knowledge.
The
Also, we're about to
knowledge,
get kicked off.
right? So I think with the dad's party, that was kind of a plot twist that I was kind of surprised about that was even like a thing. Okay, there was a party, cool. I get it added to the plot line, but the fact that it was his dad, I felt like, again, first book, we don't know where it's going. I just didn't see the relevance of making the person throwing the party his dad.
I agree. Objection relevance. I also, if he was such a big character, like if he was such a prominent person in the kingdom, like the great healer or whatever,
Right.
and they could just kidnap him.
Well, also that she didn't put, like, if he's this great healer that everyone's heard of, she hasn't heard of him before. And if she did, brother's name, his name would have rung a bell in her head and been like, oh, Mavrin, thanks the great healer.
Right.
Plus, they didn't know like his identity, the identity of this core healer. They just knew that he existed.
He existed and threw bangers.
Right.
Mhm.
Like giant parties. It's like the white party.
I was very confused by that. The fact that his
Yeah.
dad throws ragers is a healer.
I also
Parties
thought
and
like that kind of brings up, I'm surprised that like his family all seems like good people, right? Like his siblings seem great. His dad, while absent as a child, or he was a child, was gone. He seems like a good guy. Why, if your son was like kidnapped and kept in the dark for a month and then wanted a vendetta against the king, would you like disown him? Like, why would you, right? Like, they made it seem like it was his choice to, and I guess it was, but why wouldn't you have, if you're such a close-knit family, why wouldn't you understand him going after the king, you know?
Yeah.
Unless he didn't share that information with them, which he never, I don't think there's a part in the story where we find out that his family knew the whole story the entire time. We
True.
just know that he became the villain.
Yeah, that's true.
Any adjustments to your ratings?
Yeah, I'm knocking mine down to a 3.5.
Join me in the threes.
Okay, but not as low as yours is, okay? I think that book is more deserving than a 2.75.
Yeah.
I just, again, maybe if I read it at a different time or if I went back and reread it. I don't know. I agree. It wasn't like a 2 or a 1 to me is terrible.
Mhm.
A 3 is like, okay, I'd recommend it. It wasn't life changing. I don't know. I think I'd have to be choosy about who I recommend it to. Maybe I'll adjust it. I'll be generous. 2.85. Final answer. Sorry, I'm so generous.
No, so generous.
I will not be adjusting my reading.
Keeping it at a 4.
As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though there's not a lot to it. So it's can stay at 4 stars.
Go
Love it.
strong, sis. You know, stick to your
Love
guns.
it.
I think that's it for this episode.
Because we changed up our concept a little bit, we are picking books per month. But if there is a specific book that you want to see and want us to review or deep dive into, feel free to send us a message on Instagram, TikTok, leave a comment here on whatever platform you're listening to us on, and we will review it.
If you liked this episode, then definitely like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for brewing with us today.
Until next time, book besties.
Stay tuned for next month's book club pick, Project Hail Mary.
Hosted by lovely Amanda herself.